from 2008 to 2018, the number of men between 18 and 30 reporting no sex in the last year tripled from 8 to 28%.
Jesus.
That finishes in 2018. Roll that forward into the pandemic. I honestly think that you could look at a man on the street now between the ages of 18 and 30, point at him and have a 50% chance that he hasn't had sex in the last year.
Dating is hard, but it's only gotten tougher with the advent of social media and online dating. But between the two sexes, it's men that have the tougher time making it in this dating market. Some of the challenges men face in today's dating market are the unrealistic expectations set by females, the fourth wave feminist movement driving men out of traditional male roles, and the biggest and scariest, in my opinion, are males just being left behind in general, with more men dropping out of school and the prime age working men between 25 to 54 years old, 7 million of them are neither working nor looking for work, leaving them at an economical disadvantage for finding a partner. With men facing so many challenges in dating, you could see how they could move on to those groups like in the manosphere, groups such as Red Pill, or Men Going Their Own Way, or Passport Bros. And some of the dialogue in these settings are really good, very well warranted, because let's face it, there are some women out here that are moving egregiously, asking for everything, the sun and the moon, the shooting stars, you to solve world hunger. But then at the same time, there are some men out here that are doing the bare minimum, if that, and they really expect to take home a supermodel. But when there's light, there's darkness. On one of the scariest forums I've came across is Black Pill. So Black Pill is the extremists of Red Pill, like how Antifa is the extremist for liberals and the Ku Klux Klan is the extremists for Republicans. For those of you that don't know, Red Pill is kind of like an amalgamation of men's rights forums and ideas stemming from things like how men realize that women actually have all of the power, because men, we do what we do to get money or to have sex with women, and we get money so we can have sex with women. So it just really boils back down to women are really at the advantageous position, and then all the way to the side where modern women, they're not fit for dating, or they don't want to be traditional, and that's why you have groups kind of like the Passport Bros that are going to different countries trying to find more traditional women. But the Black Pill ideology takes some of these things to the extreme, where people on this side think that looks are the only determining factor that would get you a woman. They beat down on themselves or say that they're not, naturally the best fit or good looking, or they list all these negatives about themselves as to why they can't find a woman, and that it's predetermined that they will be involuntarily celibate, or incel for short. I want to point out that it's kind of ironic that the term incel was coined by a woman. Damn, dudes really can't have anything these days. But what's truly concerning to me about these groups of individuals is not that they sit in a cave and wallow in their own self-pity, but they project acts of violence onto themselves via suicide, or onto the rest of society via mass shootings. Things have gotten so bad that the United States Secret Service are now tracking these individuals. Now, I was able to find what I assume is a pretty popular website in the Black Pill and Incel community, incels.is. It has about 20,000 members and about 9.7 million posts. Granted, I didn't scour every single post, but based on what I see from a surface level, some of this stuff is kind of troubling. Now, there's a popular subreddit called Incel that kind of highlight some of the more problematic posts from the incels.is, website, and it's it's kind of funny because I think both of these groups are beefing with each other, because I've seen on the incel website that they, shout out this subreddit and they talk shit on them. Like, look at this one. This guy's saying, stop giving women any sympathy if they were like raped or abused. You gotta treat them like they treat you. Oh, you were raped? You should have worked on your personality, sweetie. But then there's posts out there where guys are bragging about grabbing a girl's ass without her consent. Like, dude, this is sexual assault. This is a crime.
What are you gonna do? Call the police?
Nah, but for real, some of the stuff I saw on that website is like villainous behavior.
Heather bought me her list of requirements, so let's check them out. He must be between 30 and 45, financially stable, no kids, 5'10" or taller, no hookups or flings, ready to settle down, no roommates, no smoking, must love dessert and can't be anti-sugar. Must be honest, reliable, sweet and kind, quick-witted, romantic, must love food, must pay on the first date, no flowers on the first date, must be a social drinker, and must never wear sweatpants. Do you like quiet time?
I do.
You're gonna have a lot of
Now, I've spent a lot of time talking about the incel and black pill community. Now, it's time for me to spend a little time talking about what led to such a thing. Even though there's an increase in lonely single men being taken advantage of from OnlyFans models and Andrew Tate, there is also an increase in lonely single women. So there's an increase in single women, not at the level of single men, but an increase nonetheless. So one would sensibly believe that the single men and the single women would kind of connect and fulfill requirements. But life isn't so black and white.
She belongs to the streets.
Now, there's a multitude of reasons why single women aren't necessarily matching with single men. But one of the points I do want to touch on is the ridiculous standards, the unachievable standards that some of them have for men.
Well, when I was young, I created a long list of all the things that I wanted in my future husband. And there was all sorts of personal qualities and physical attributes and just general skills or possessions that I thought would be useful.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Okay, so I don't care if it's superficial and shallow. I want somebody that's taller than me. I'm 5'10". I am not a small girl, all right? I don't want somebody that's gonna make me feel any bigger than I already am. I want somebody that's smart, I'm smart, and I want somebody I can talk to.
So in this example, you can see how this woman changed up real quick, realizing that that fictitious man in her head was nowhere to be found. But not all women are like this. Some of them are still clinging on to that superhero-esque of a guy in their head and choosing to just remain single instead of getting in a relationship with an actual human being. Just to clarify, there are women who choose to be single and choose not to have children. That is okay. I'm not speaking on them. I'm speaking about the women who want a relationship, but they've set the bar so damn high that 99.999% of men aren't gonna clear it, and now they're lonely because of that. But in the defense of women, there are some dudes out here that ain't showered in like a week, they don't wipe their ass, they don't brush their teeth, they don't comb their hair, like they ain't in the gym, they don't have a job. Like, what do you want from women? They have the bar too high, but y'all don't even have standards for yourself. Circling back on the primary topic of discussion, the men in these circles they're playing the victims. They don't have to. Instead of using that energy to spread hate or misogyny online, they can take that same time and effort in learning how to become sociable, because that's what's required in society. They can spend that time watching some Kevin Samuels, reading some Jordan Peterson, and going to the gym. Those 3 things alone will help you exponentially more than probably whatever they're doing right now.
Bow, 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 bow. Him, her, bodies.
Nice feeling, tired be a hero, but live long enough to see yourself become a villain.